Mahmood,
Sam,
welcome to Tasty Humours. Thank you for doing this.
thank you so much for
For
having
the
me.
sake of people tuning in and all of the Media One staff that are going to watch this, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Well, my name is Mahmood Ahmed, and I've been into IT for past 16 years. I've been in Dubai for past 16 years. I've worked all my life only in one country, which is Dubai, UAE. That's it. And from the beginning, I'm part of hospitality industry. From the beginning, I'm just into IT. I have never changed fields in the career professionally. And that's what always motivates me, and that's why I have stuck to IT always.
What was it that got you into IT?
Well, I did my hotel management, so I was not supposed to get into IT. I was supposed to be a chef. I did entire training. I had the offer letter ready in Miami, Florida for Hilton, and there was some time left for me to join. During that time, I got introduced into technology through one of my very good friends, and that got my interest. And there was one of those nights where you sit along with your friends, talk about stuff, and then he introduced me to all the latest technology happening during that time. It was very fascinating for me. It attracted me so much that I thought, you know what, I think this is better. Then I started doing courses. I went into Oracle, and then Citrix. These are some technical things which I have done in order to attain the knowledge. And yeah, after that, I never looked back at any other thing, just into IT.
What chef were you going to be? What inspired you, or sort of let's go back even further?
Yeah.
What I never knew this about you, so this is cool. What got you into that?
So one of my very good cousins, he was the executive chef in Hilton Hotel over there, and he introduced me to hotel management. It was fun because it was quite new for me, doing things, cooking and stuff. It's something new which normally not many people do that, right? And I started liking it. I started pursuing the course. I did a 3-year degree, proper degree. And it was fun. It was fun, but I never saw myself as working as such as a chef. Mm-hmm. To be honest, there was a lot of pressure in kitchen, as everyone knows how it is, right? And I think it did not suited my personality. That's what I thought. And then I said, it's better to move into technology because it was quite booming at that point of time. And that's what attracted.
So 16 years ago is 2008, 2009.
8 and 9. Yeah.
So what were the technological advances of that day that you were discussing with your friend that made you go,
yeah, so
man, that's cool,
During that time, there was something related to database that was hardcore geeky stuff. Mm-hmm. Something related to databases, building databases and all those things. And it was related to Citrix applications as well. That was my core study or reading of the...
What is Citrix?
That's something that if you don't want to spend money on buying computers, you spend on smaller computers, you spend less money on smaller computers and still get the full experience. All this happens because of Citrix.
Okay.
So instead of going and buying a heavy-duty laptop, you buy a very basic laptop, and everything is sending through cloud to your laptop. So you don't have to purchase any expensive equipment.
Okay. And so what was the first position that you held in hospitality as IT?
I started as IT supervisor. And that was really fun because that was my first job in Dubai. And usually IT role is quite hectic, to be honest, in IT operations. And that was my first job, as IT supervisor. It was one of the local chains here in Dubai.
Which one? You can name names.
Okay, it was City Seasons.
Yeah, you can name names. They're not going to mind. You know what I mean? As long as you don't say it was either. Well, you could say you could probably say it was a really good experience, but if it's really bad experience, then
it was okay. It was okay. It was okay. It was a local chain. It was City Season Suites at that point. I had friend of friend in HR, and then we met, and then yeah, that's what I quickly started.
And what was challenging about it? What was like? You see, I as an operator and as the F&B guy, do you know what I mean? You know, we work in the same building, and we have done. I've worked with now for 2 years, and we sit in completely different offices. Do you know what I mean? And we interact at some points, you know, as everyone else does. But we see it from two completely different perspectives on a daily basis. So I'm always really intrigued to see how the other departments see it, you know, on a microcosm. So what is it like, sort of, let's talk about Media One. What is it like being in Media One and the madness in there from your perspective, from IT?
So good thing about Media One is you get to do new stuff. Okay, you don't have that kind of hierarchy where you need to get everything approved at a global level or something like that. So you get to try good stuff quickly. With the IT, when I joined as IT supervisor way long back, the tough thing was for me was dealing with people, because that was my first job. IT stuff I could have done easily if I'm alone, right? But then when you involve people in that, where you have urgency, where you have something down, where you have different nationalities, everyone sitting around and under pressure when something is down, right? So that was the tough part when I started, but then I slowly get the grasp of it. I understood the positive side of it, that why it affects, how it affects, and all those things. And yeah, that's one of the things which have stayed with me until today, and that's what I followed. So if something is tough or something is under pressure, I go in a very calm mode.
That's true, actually. You are very calm.
Yeah,
definitely.
I go on a very calm mode. And that's what is happening.
What's some of the biggest changes that you've seen? So how long have you been at Media One? I don't actually know.
It would be 7 years next month.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be 7 years. And before that, I was with another chain of hotels that was Time Hotels. That was, again, I think 7 years. So you see, I'm a very stable guy.
You're very stable, very loyal.
Very stable guy, you know. And
and what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen then in the IT world, sort of coming in? Because we will get to AI. This is where we're, you know, it's the progression of technology in the last, I don't know, 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? But the last year has been crazy. But where did sort of, if we go back a few years, what are some of the things that you remember where you've gone, yeah, that's a game changer? You know what I mean?
See, especially, I would say the AI, it started a couple of years back, like maybe 3-4 years back. I mean, the hype started 3-4 years back. But AI is in use from, I would say, maybe 20 years in the back end. But now we as in people are getting involved, so that's why it's getting so much of hype to it. To be honest, I am really shocked. Every day I'm getting shocked about what it is turning into AI. You can see Elon and Sam Altman fighting each other on Twitter or X about who gets the control of the AI, because it shows that how important it is. It takes the information about everything, be it human, be it machines, be it data analytics, everything. So that's something which is really fascinating me every day.
And so what is it that you're investigating with it? Like, what is it? What is your opinion of it?
Of AI?
Of AI?
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, it's going to be a game changer, especially in hospitality. See, the thing is, AI is definitely going to take jobs. Okay, it's going to definitely take jobs. But in some industries, it's going to take maybe 100% jobs. Some industries, 50%. Some industry, maybe 10%. I think hospitality would be the least affected area where it would take over jobs, because in the end, you need human connection. In the end, a guest doesn't come back to hotel just because of algorithm. He comes back to the hotel because of that human connection, what you have spoken to him or what you have liked, discussed, and all those things. So guest remembers how you have dealt with him. I think hospitality would be least affected with the AI, but there's a lot to do in hospitality. back-end operations. Imagine if you have waiters who carry the iPads with them to take the orders. Imagine if AI give all the insights that this guest used to order so many times this, and this, so and so dishes. At this time, waiter is empowered to discuss with the guest, you know what, I have seen that you have been ordering so and so, why don't you try something new? Or do you want your usual as well? But when it comes from a person, I think it makes an impact that brings back the connection. So, but in other industries, like for an example, recently I'm talking to another company. They are the voice AI agents, right? So when you call to a hotel, if a room service calls, right, there are times where you might miss on calls. Now, you're going to get a very good customer service with the AI voice agents. No call will be missed. No matter what language you talk, the agent is going to talk back, and it's going to take orders. It's going to give you all the information, whatever is needed. So that is setting another standards now. Now, there is no place for a disgruntled employee anymore in this kind of scenario. Yeah. I think that's where it is heading now.
So I do think that, like the thing that you posted on the WhatsApp group this morning, was a version of this, where it was the people that were making the phone calls in different languages, and the AI is picking it up straight away. Well, what it was actually showing the results of phoning the hotels that didn't have this, and it was what the receptionist reacting to. I can, from my perspective, because I'm very old school, you know, like I'm a little bit like, I don't know, I kind of want the humans to still be there.
Absolutely. So the thing over there is, we are not saying that it would completely replace those people. We are saying that now your operator can have healthy breaks, longer breaks, where it is required, like because right now, because right now they are burning out. Not only in the hotels, there are many hotels around where people are burning out. There are very less manning available in the hotels. There is not of everywhere I have attended. People have mentioned that there is labor shortage in hospitality, getting all kinds of people and all those things, right? So. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that it's not to replace them, but to give them a very nice environment where they don't have to push for long hours, where they don't have to be unhappy about the job, what they are doing, actually.
Well, do you think that there's a danger? I don't know, because it's a very sensitive topic, because I think that when anybody talks about AI and how it can affect someone's livelihood, if you don't know the ins and outs, the fear-mongering can be quite big. But so not without scaring people, it's more like, is there a danger that you have the AI automated receptionist because you're giving people breaks and stuff like that, and eventually companies go, why don't we just use this all the time?
Absolutely, that can happen. So what's happening is now with the development of AI and other technologies, I don't know if you have seen movie Her.
Yes.
Have
with
you seen
Joaquin
that?
Phoenix.
Yes. That was scarily good, right? I mean, so now people actually look for affection, which they don't get from other humans. Now imagine AI is reciprocating all that affection to you. So eventually everyone is going to turn to the machine and share everything what you don't share with others, because AI is not going to judge you on your vulnerabilities or anything. So that's where it gets dangerous. But same thing if you look at it at a different perspective. Imagine you are fond of playing golf and you want to go and purchase a golf club, all right? And over there, imagine you get a persona of Tiger Woods. So AI, who is trained on Tiger Woods' playing how he played, what's his understanding of golf clubs, what's his understanding about how to choose clubs and all that stuff. Imagine that is trained on the AI chatbot or the voice bot. And when you go to purchase a golf club, you are getting him on your end I mean, you're asking him, what do I purchase? Usually I buy this, I do that, and he's going to explain you what you should buy and what you shouldn't. Now, imagine you getting this service instead of an employee who is just standing there and he say, what do you want, Sam? Yeah, this is good, that is good, and all those things. But now you're getting a Tiger Woods persona who is at a world level. So that's something good as well.
But what happens to the employee? You see, it's a dangerous topic,
it's a
isn't
slippery
it?
slope, to be honest. The more advancement we are going to make, these questions are definitely going to come up. That where are we heading with all these things, right? But same time, even you would want that. Like, for an example, you calling room service and you are hearing a very lovely voice. And you would want that. I mean,
this is true. This is very,
you
very true.
will never get a complaint. And imagine you being a hotel owner and you say that I'm never going to receive a call where someone says that person rudely hung up or did not took my order or did not do all those things. So you are aiming for very high standards now, and everyone will start aiming like that. Yeah, there is a give and take over there, whether you want human or not. Yeah.
But I think that one of the most nervous things is that the it's so sensitive. The standard of AI will always be higher than the humans.
Absolutely.
And that is where I wonder where this is going long term. You know, what is it? Is it AGI?
So that's what it is. Yes, artificial general intelligence.
So what is that?
So that's something that we might achieve maybe in 10 years, 12 years, 15 years or something like that.
Good, I'll be retired.
It's not there yet.
But what is it? Because you're on the inside of this as a vocation. I'm kind of watch some podcasts and push play on YouTube to some of it and then turn it off in 2 minutes. But what is AGI?
So I'll give you a simple example. Have you seen the humanoid robot which Tesla released? He was doing all these things and all those things. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay.
Expand. What is this robot doing?
There was a robot, humanoid robot. Okay, they trained it on certain tasks to do. Like in an industry, if you see it in car manufacturers, imagine there is a robot who is just taking chassis and keeping it here. Imagine that, okay? Now, that's just the automation or general, that's just the automation. Now, if you get to AGI, that robot, while he is working, you can say, hey, can you go and pick up my kids from the school? It will just go, take the car, go pick up the kids and come back. And while he's there, you can say that, can you shop some groceries for me? Definitely, it can do that. So general intelligence is that it's not meant for a specific purpose, but it can do everything generally. If that comes, I am scared for me as well. So that's something really good. People are aiming for it. People are, you see, there are billions and billions of dollars are being invested in this. There is a reason for that. And the reason is just to remove the human factor over there.
Damning. But so my question with all of this is that what are we going to do then? What do you think? Like, how do you think the world will evolve? Because how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 37.
37. Okay, so I'm 11 years older than you. So
okay.
There's not a massive jump there. So in 12, 15 years' time, you'll be 52, sorry. I'll be in my 60s. I'll only be 70. But the thing is how do you think the world will look then?
It's not going to change much, to be honest. Because, you know, there is a thing where people exaggerate on a couple of things. You know, AI is going to be in many more places. It can be in your house as well, you know. Like your vacuum cleaner is going to talk, your washing machine is going to talk, and all those things. You don't have to pre-select things. You just put the clothes. It detects what clothes are there and what's the efficient cycle it's going to be. So that's something which is called IoT devices. But if it integrates
what?
IoT, Internet of Things.
Okay, go on. So I've never heard that before.
Yeah, those are the things where appliances talk to each other and Yeah, and they are going to show how efficient they are. But what AI is going to do in that is that all these tasks where you have to put your mind to do things, you don't have to do anything anymore. I mean, you just put the stuff and it's going to detect automatically what kind of clothes are there, and it's going to put on efficient cycle where you save money on the electricity or the detergent or whatever it is. So that's going to happen. Have you been using home automation? Anything in the home automation? Alexa or something like that? You have not?
No,
okay.
No.
I recently did at my home. I did the Alexa home automation with Alexa. So if I'm sitting in front of my TV and I say, Alexa, let's watch movie, that's the term to activate things. So the lights goes dim. There are lights which turns on at the back of TV. The curtains closes. In kitchen, the popcorn machine automatically starts making the popcorn. Okay.
This is in your house?
This is in my house, which I did as a setup just to prove a point. The point was, now there are times where I would say, Alexa, let's watch movie, but I don't want popcorn. So you see, my emotions are unpredictable. That's where AI lags. It's not necessary that every time when I come to a hotel or when I come to a restaurant, I'm going to have the same dish every time. It depends on my mood, if I'm in happy mood, if I'm in sad mood or some other mood. So my emotions are going to change. And hospitality guests are quite unpredictable. That's what I think. They're not very...
That's why we love them so much.
You deal with them every day, so you know much better than me. But that's where I'm coming from. The AI point is that not everything we should try to solve with the AI. That's what I think.
And do you think that that's a danger, that the tech people are trying to solve every problem with AI in order to simply solve every problem?
So if you have noticed, there is a very huge change in the world level where tech people are taking over things, which they are not supposed to, or not supposed to, as in, I mean...
Like what? No, come on. But what? Give me an example of that. Like, what do you think that they should be leaving alone? I know it's not like a big, bold statement. It's just
it's just
I've got
something
some
that,
ideas.
Tech people are taking over on things where they are specifically analyzing daily life of people and building solutions on that. It's fine to build solutions for problems, but when you get invasive in privacy and all those things, that's where the problem happens. But that's not a problem for tech people, because the more privacy, the less privacy you have, the better is for them to develop the product.
Yes.
Right? So if I say, Alexa, turn on something, it tells me that I am muted. So I have kept Alexa on mute, and if I try to talk to Alexa, it says that it is muted.
So but it can still hear you.
That's what I mean. So that's the thing, right? I mean, it can still hear me. So there are algorithms which are taking over everything. Like, for an example, you might have noticed when you talk about something and suddenly on the Facebook you are seeing ads of all those things. It has come to a stage now that even the TikTok algorithms are picking up over all those things, your shopping habits, and it's trying to show you. So one funny thing my wife is doing, who is against AI, is that she quickly takes my phone and searches all the gifts she wants, searches and close it and keep my phone. So when I open my phone, automatically I'm bombarded with those ads. That, there is some vacation, there is something, and all those things. So that's the clever way of pushing something on the mind of someone, because it keeps on showing you the ads of the same thing. Yeah.
Well, the whole ads thing is, again, for me, it's like it's what I'm sure you've heard the term a double-edged sword, which is that there's good and bad here.
Yeah.
Where, like, I went to the Cheesecake Factory about 2 weeks ago, and I hadn't been there for 8 years, something like this.
Okay.
And I didn't do anything there. I didn't take, obviously I ate, but I didn't take videos, or I can't remember I don't think I used my phone. But then YouTube, when I open YouTube, is sending me ads for the Cheesecake Factory, which in some ways I think people have this fear of how is this actually operating? How is it listening to me when it's not listening? Like, for instance, I haven't got my watch on because I've got the iWatch Ultra, and I'm stupid, I didn't charge it up this morning. But sometimes I'll just talk and Siri comes on, and it goes, "Sorry, I don't know what you would." And I was like, I wasn't even talking to you.
Sometimes it happens.
And so, how much do you subscribe to the fact that the devices are listening at all times? And how does that make you feel as an IT person?
Yeah. So I have questioned this to many people, in my friends, in my study groups, or anywhere else. And what I have noticed is that everyone has some kind of opinion, but everyone wants targeted ads for them. They want that technology should understand them, but they don't want to compromise on privacy. For me, I'm all in. To be honest, there is nothing to hide for me, and I give all the information. I have trained ChatGPT so well on my personality that it talks and acts like me.
And how have you done that? Just continually prompting?
Continuously saying that what I feel like, what I want, what I am up to, what are my goals, what are my past experiences. So I've made sure to train it on that.
So let me ask you, are you asking it questions, or are you actively telling it what you're doing?
No, I'm actively telling the ChatGPT how I was, how I am doing, and what I'm going to be. So here's the thing. You see, there is a company.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, there is a company in which Elon is heading, Neuralink.
Yes.
You know, that is
it's
something
freaky,
that
man.
it reads your mind and all that stuff. Imagine that and ChatGPT connected to it. So there will be a time where younger people will have that something inbuilt in their mind. And while they grow up, AI is going to collect all the data. And they're going to have an AI persona when they turn 18, right? And that AI persona can be used to delegate the task for the company. So imagine you are not coming to office, but I have your full digital persona on the computer, and I send you some stuff. Sam, can you have a look at it? It is doing exactly the way you think, the way you do everything, and it's going to prepare that report, and it's going to send me back.
Well, Neuralink is a chip that they're going to put in people's heads. Like you said, you're 100% right. And the thing I know about this is there was a guy on Joe Rogan who's a quadriplegic.
Yeah, that's the famous
have you seen
example.
This? Yeah. So he's the first... I don't want to insult him by saying guinea pig, but he's the first real trial of what this thing might be able to do. And they've put it into his head, and he can control video games now through moving his eyes. Yeah. And thinking. And the way he describes where he sits and he's thinking, I'm thinking of the cursor moving and it moves. Yeah. And I'm like, that...
He's tweeting as well with that.
And exactly. He's starting to perform a lot of tasks, which he says is giving him the most incredible amount of freedom again. Yeah. Even though he can't, I think he can. I think his disability is to the point where he can only move his left hand or something. But what they think this is going to do long term would be to bypass the damaged, I don't even know what you call them, receptors or synapses or something.
People who get into accidents where they lose the functionality.
Will bypass what's broken and reconnect the electronic signals and enable his full movement again, which again is where I go, no problem with that. Do you know what I mean? That's where I think these type of things could be incredible. Based on what you said, which I think is, again, this is where I'm kind of go the other way. I'm like, where it's like, what was I doing? I was at a networking event with podcasters, actually. And they had a guest speaker who was saying that he's created an AI version of himself. All right. Loading in everything about him. It's learned every book he's read, everything about him on the internet, and then he's I can't remember it word for word. He's created something where you can interact with him, but it's not him. Yeah, and then he's charging for it, and you're like, I don't know. Where does that end?
That's what I mentioned. It's slippery slope because people are not going to stop at just that persona. Now, you have so many technologies. There is some cross-pollination happening now. You're going to see some really scary things happening in future now because it's already building. You have deepfakes, which means that your face can be put on anything and everything. Imagine that. And then you have personas, AI personas. You have AI voice, so your voice can be copied as well.
And how are they doing that?
They're just training the models. They will get some samples from your voice, and they are training models on using the AI, and then it's going to talk anything and everything, whatever they ask.
And how many samples do they need? It's not much, is it?
I think it's getting lesser and lesser now. Like example, when you are setting up your phone mobile and you are setting up Siri by saying a couple of sentences, isn't it? I think that is enough now with the level of computation what we have now. Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
And your voice will be cloned.
Voice cloned, face cloned, personality cloned. I don't know what else is remaining.
How long do you think it's going to be before people start to distrust it? Just as a general question.
We're going to hit that, but not right now, to be honest. Right now, people are trying to find best uses of it. The first thing, if anyone uses for any technology, is for the bad purpose, to be honest, because that's where you get to know what things you shouldn't do and what things you should do and where exactly it should be heading. So it's going to take much longer time because we haven't hit that level of scary yet.
Well, it's going to take I think it's going to take this. I think it's going to take a moment where somebody's going to get defrauded very publicly, very publicly, massively, and then so if it happened to me, I would be like, no, I want you in front of me. Yeah. I want the person in the room looking me in the eye. I don't want to touch a machine. It's like, come and hand me a bag of cash to pay for the service. Do you know what I mean? I don't want anything online. I don't want, and I don't know whether it's all going to come full circle where eventually people will distrust it so much they'll stop using it.
There might be, but depending on where the generation is heading. So one thing I have learned in technology is that I cannot be biased. So what I feel about technology should not dictate on what's happening around. Because if there is a demand, if people are ready to share their privacy, everything, who am I to say that we should not be sharing? Next generation doesn't care about not sharing their habits. They want it to share. They want people to know. They are sharing everything on social media, what they are eating, who they are with, where they are flying, and all those things. So they don't mind sharing everything. And the more you give out the information, the better technology will become. But there will be consequences for that. That's what I think.
Are you big on social media yourself?
Not much. I'm not very outgoing personality, to be honest. I'm very introvert. The only social media handle which I do is LinkedIn.
Okay.
Right. Instagram, I think I created maybe 8 years back, 9 years back. I've deleted it from past 3 months because it was too much of information consuming. So I deleted that. Facebook, I never used it. I mean, I used it a little bit here and there, but that's all I've been using. What I do in my free time is a lot of astronomy stuff.
Okay.
And I write a couple of books for kids for astronomy as well. So I have wrote maybe around 22, 23 books on astronomy, physics, and all that stuff.
What got you into astronomy?
Again, it was a night with friends.
Yeah.
Every great story starts with a night with friends. There was an ad somewhere here in Dubai that they were showing planetary bodies and all those things. So I went there. I saw Saturn. I fell in love like head over heels. And from then on, I started getting into astronomy, learning, and all those things. So I take my kids along with me to deserts, show them the planets, moon, stars, and all those things. And it has been amazing.
How are you feeling about the current growth in the subject of are we alone or not?
Yeah.
I know we're saying we are leaving IT. I know that, but we'll come back to it. But it's when you say astronomy, and I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday, which is there seems to be more and more. I've been obsessed with the universe since I can remember, and whether we're alone or not, and the planets and the distances and all of this sort of stuff. But there seems to be this real push for more and more people stepping forwards and saying that there's more and more knowledge about the fact that we're not alone. Like, do you, someone being into astronomy, just as a sort of a side question, what's your opinion on all that?
No, definitely. I would say I cannot say that we are alone. I'm definitely saying that we are not alone. It's just something we haven't found anyone. That does not mean that we are alone. Yeah, there are some very good insights into astronomy which actually sparked my interest. I want to share one.
Go ahead.
So, you know how vast the universe is, right? So, if there is a planet out there at 65 million light years away, so that's the distance. Okay, if someone is watching from that planet with a powerful telescope to the Earth, they would be seeing dinosaurs walking right now, right? So that's how the laws of physics and time works. So that really hit me, and then I started getting into it. That how is it possible? How does it work? And all those things. And it has been an amazing journey with those books. And so I do community reach outs also. Where people come, I explain things, I give them a go at my telescope, they watch moon, stars, and all those things.
Did you say the planetary lineup?
I did, but it was more of a visible just to see through naked eye. It didn't needed the telescope in order to understand what's happening. But it happens. There's a lot of events happening.
No, that's amazing. You work with people. I've worked with you 2 years. I've worked with you a long time. It goes to show how much people really don't get to know each other maybe as much as they should. I wanted to ask, you've been doing a lot of panel discussions.
Yeah.
I think this is something you've started to grow into in the last year. This has all been IT tech related. What are those discussions like with maybe, other leaders and other IT people on these topics?
See, first discussion is always about what do we do with AI? Not many people are clear how to implement and what to do with the AI. I mean, technology is there. Our operations are running. In the end, hotel needs people in the rooms, food on the table. That's the basic thing. Not like other companies where you have to manufacture products or do something, right? So hospitality is mostly people-oriented, right? So if you have to do anything related to AI, it has to be at the back end. And that's where things are getting into. People are a little confused. People are a little bit not understanding the return of investment on it. Because right now, everything is working fine. So what is AI bringing new? We don't know the questions what we need to ask with AI. Actually, that's the problem. We are quite stuck with the routine, I would say. That, every day you look at a report, you say, okay, comparing to my last year, I earned this much, and a year before I earned this much. Why am I not earning this year? That's all we know. I mean, most of the people know. But they don't know how to ask different type of questions with the data. So that's where we need to train on the managers. The entire discussions mostly are related to this, that managers should understand what AI can do, and they should open their mind towards more questions instead of asking same old questions. Yeah.
But we don't know what questions to ask.
That's the main point.
Well, I think everyone's like in business, everyone's going to ask the same question. How do I make more money?
Yeah. But AI is helping in finding the patterns and statistics. You might, when you upload the data to AI and when you ask questions, show me some insights which I have been missing out. The good thing about whatever the tools, what is out there is you just need to have just a conversation, and that's it. And it's going to give you some new stuff. That's what is happening.
So what do you think are things that could be implemented right now? What are you looking at for Media One, for instance? I know we've just introduced, or we're introducing I can't remember the name, There's the video assistant.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
what
is
is
something
that?
related
I've
to
seen, I've seen one kind of example of it.
Yes.
And I know that Jan,
Yeah.
our wonderful head of hotel operations, wanted us to ask it questions and everything. So what is that?
So that's something which is AI on video analytics. So that's related to the face recognition and the behavioral pattern. That's what it is being trained on. What I am working on right now is something to help our HR teams. So you have a lot of people who are joining, who are leaving, and all those things, right? And you have so many of HR policies and stuff. And our HR keeps getting calls from all the new employees that how to do this, how to do that, for small things. And in order to save them from those calls, we are going to develop a AI chatbot which can answer all those questions. If our employees ask, I lost my locker key, what do I do? It tells you, okay, you pay whatever dirhams is there.
Nearly.
And then you reach out to your HR department, and then you are okay with that. If someone asks, I'm not feeling well, where do I go? It will ask whether are you at Media One. This is the nearest clinic. If you're at accommodation, this is the nearest clinic. And if someone says, I missed my bus, it tells you when is the next bus. So all the small calls which they bother HR for those things, they can now ask at any point of time with the AI chatbot, right? And it's multilingual, so you don't have to be good in English or anything, and it's voice based as well, so they can even talk as such. That's something, but I just had today a conversation with one of the startup company who is developing the video which I have shared with them. Those are very young entrepreneurs, to be honest. There are 3 people who have developed that product, and these are just the college graduates who have developed. The product is amazingly good. It can take over entire calls of be it reservations, room service, or operator. It can do the entire job, and that too in the multilingual language. So there is no missing out on any calls. There is no comments of, hey, I've been calling your hotel, no one answers, or something like that. So those are the things which people would definitely want to see.
Do you know, I wanted to quickly circle back to your comment about there are non-hospitality. So there are tech people trying to fix every problem, whether they should or shouldn't do it or not. And we in Media One, and I like it. I'm not about to start bashing this. I do like it, which is the automated payment system that we're using in Chowbella.
Okay.
I won't say the name of the company, but you scan the QR code and you pay the bill. And I remember having the conversation about it where I was thinking, I don't know, it's one less visit to the table for the staff. And when I asked the creator of this, then he would, and here's the thing, he was very, very happy and very passionate to tell me where he's not a restaurant person, he's not a hospitality person. And he says that he was in a restaurant, he needed to pay his bill, he needed to get out, and everyone's been there, I get it. And they couldn't get the bill quick enough to him because they were very, very busy. And it stuck with him. How can I pay a bill quicker? So then, and he's a tech person. And one of the things I sort of think about is sort of how much is advice being seeked? Is that the right word? From the people within the industry to find the common ground of what works and what doesn't work. What are your comments on that? I don't think there's a question in there. I'm kind of making a statement.
I see a lot of products in the market, and some people actually do that. So they bring in people from hospitality. I'm just talking about hospitality products. So some people actually do bring people from the hospitality. They make them sit down. They talk about their experiences. They say, what does your guest feel? How do you think? And all those things, right? So that's something which not everyone does that. Now imagine someone facing some problem and they develop the entire product and build the entire company just around that one inconvenience. Now these things can be subjective. You might be in a hurry, but other people might want to stay back. They don't mind getting the bill late. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not picking on that example, but then it's subjective that or unpredictable. That's what I would say, that in hospitality. You cannot say that everyone would want that or don't want that. There can be both ways.
Yeah, I think I'm the same as everyone else in the world of. It's why it's great to have an IT specialist on and really hear it from somebody that's living and breathing it, because I think there's so many sides to it in the sense of there's people like me, and a great example is I may sound like maybe a bit of an AI phobe almost, which I'm not, but I'm very passionate about the staff still going to the table and serving the guest. However, I shop in I shop in Zara sometimes, and they redid Zara in Mall of Emirates and brought in a whole automated checkout. And if there's a queue and I'm in a hurry, I'm not standing there going, I'm in the queue because I like this. Yeah. I'm straight over there. The UK had self-service checkouts put into supermarkets and so I do think that there are people like myself need to be mindful of what I am and aren't saying when it comes to the development of these tools. Yeah. I just think, where are we all going to be if these things are doing these things for us, like the AGI? It's like, what do? Do I wake up and just everything's being handed? I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know how we function as humans.
We started like this. It's not happening now. It started way long back. Imagine you had a television at home, and every time you wanted to change channel, you went to the TV and you changed it, right?
Then I remember those days.
Then came
as a kid. Yeah, I remember those days as a kid.
Then came the remote control. So you don't have to get up. You just take the remote control, and you did that. Yeah, now we are past that also. True. Now we are just asking, Alexa, can you put CNN? And then it puts the CNN. So we are not even trying to pick up the remote as well, right? Now we are just talking. Now there comes the Neuralink, where you don't even have to talk, and you just sit and you say, think of CNN, and it comes to CNN, right?
What would be super bizarre is if we're all fitted with Neuralink and we can all talk to each other through it.
No, I think it's
so you and me are just sitting there like this. But you know what I saw? I tell you what I saw. That's the dark part. I tell you what I saw. I saw this thing for podcasts where I've been doing this now for about a year, and I've been thinking, yeah, I really like this. There's all this sort of stuff, right? And then I actually saw a program that scanned a company's website and then created a podcast of two voices discussing it like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I've just started doing this. I enjoy
Google
this.
Tool. That's Google tool, Notebook LLM, I guess. So that was named as Rise of Podcast. So there's going to be so much content online now. You just upload one document, and automatically you get a audio transcript of two people talking, discussing at very good length, and picking up really good points. To be honest, it was really good.
Do you know, I think we're either going to get incredibly smart or incredibly stupid.
No, that's what it is.
And I hope it's the first one. So look, this has been fantastic to get you on. I mean, like I said, we worked together. I've learned a lot about you, which is really, really cool. Look, I always like everyone to leave like one comment or anything they want to say or anything like that. So in the world of what you do and the AI and IT and everything, it's like what would be the one thing you'd like to leave behind on the podcast?
Well, I would say that technology is something which we all should embrace, to be honest. That's what I would say. There are always pros and cons to that, but it just depends on how we use it. There are always bad actors for it. There are always bad actors pushing for different things which you don't like. But do not say no to technology just because you have heard some bad things about what it can do. Because that's with every other thing nowadays. And that's what I would say. Just keep your mind open with what's happening, embrace it, and then you will find something positive out of it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Mahmood, thank you so much for coming on. I'm really glad we did this, and I'll see you tomorrow at work.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you.